All right, you just could have toned it down. You didn't have to turn it all the way off, baby girl. All right, so actually keep it playing, but just lower it, please. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to session 4 of The Real with Mill. Yes, The Real with Mill. So on this evening, we are handling self. We're handling self again. And now we are confronting ourselves with this question: can you handle honesty with yourself? You know, we require a lot from others. I'm one of those people where one of the worst things in the world that you can do to me is lie to me. Even though I'm a marshmallow with the people that I love, meaning it's nothing that I wouldn't do for those that are in my heart. Everything moves me in some emotional type of way. However, I respect honesty. A lot of us are like that. We respect honesty, but we respect honesty from everyone else, but not ourselves. So tonight we're going to look at the truth, the honesty with you. That's what matters the most. When I was growing up, they would say to me, well, you know what, everyone else can lie to you, or you can lie to everyone else, but don't lie to yourself. We've all heard that, right? But the truth is, we lie to ourselves a lot, all right? And I said we because I've been guilty of this thing, of lying to me. And it's not just about lying to me about other people, but lying to me about me. Not recognizing triggers, not recognizing things that will cause me to go from 0 to 100. Thinking that it was cute to go from being so nice to then being a cold person that will just snap, crackle, and pop if I hear the wrong thing, or if someone steps on your shoe, now you want to fight. We have been conditioned, especially I can speak for people in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area. It's almost like because the conditions that we live in, we have this our exterior has to be tough all the time. If you look like you're too happy, too joyful, it's almost like a sign that says I'm weak or something like that. Like, we mistake a kind spirit for a weak one, and we're wrong for doing that. But that's a whole nother topic on a whole nother day. But right now we're looking at honesty with ourselves. So why can't you be honest with yourself? I asked this question to actually some preteens and a teenager. I asked them, why do you think that people cannot be honest with themselves? And the response I received was really, really enlightening. They said because people do not like to face who they really are. I said, wow. Now, that may seem small to you, but the truth is, it's not just a problem with teenagers. This is a problem with adults, especially adults that are from families that are controlling and from religious organizations that are controlling. See, it's something that's very unique about us all. And we have to understand that we will never be able to express our uniqueness if we continue to keep trying to be like everyone else. So you're not honest with yourself because you're always trying to look like the next person. When it is it's a honor to be distinguished. It's an honor to be peculiar. It's an honor to just be you. If you like to wear weave, wear weave. If you like to wear your hair in a natural look or whatever, then wear it. If you like to wear lashes, wear it. If you like to not wear lashes, then don't wear it. But now that may seem so simple to some, like, oh, whatever. But you would be amazed at how many adult women, and men, how many people do things just to fit in because they don't want to face themselves. But tonight we're going to have a conversation. I say this is a session because, as you all know, I am a licensed counselor, right? With being a licensed counselor, yes, I can be a therapist. Yes, I can counsel. Of course I can. Now, I will tell you that just because I'm a counselor, that don't mean I don't need a counselor. As a matter of fact, they recommend that every counselor has a counselor. Do you know why? Why? Because we will take on the struggles and the cares of those that we care and trying to counsel through their issue. Because the truth is, ladies and gentlemen, the answer is found within you. Whenever you are wondering what's the problem, it's all found within you, but you just have to confront it, which causes you to be honest. We don't like to be honest with ourselves. Why not, Mill? Why don't I like to be honest with myself? Because I want to fit in with my surroundings. As I mentioned a couple of seconds ago, when you come from a controlling family, when you come from a controlling religious organization, if you are different, you are mocked. You're known as the black sheep of the family. You're known as the black sheep of the congregation. Because you want to wear jeans and everyone else wants to wear skirts, you are looked at as if like you are someone that's worldly. You're living for the world. If you want to even live on your own before marriage and you're a woman, in some groupings, in some some groupings and cultures of people, you're looked at as a woman that's promiscuous, that just wants to live her own little free life of whoredom, while everyone else is told to stay home until they get married. Now, think about the liberation that takes from a young woman that is like, I don't want to be a whore. I just want to live on my own. I don't want to, be loose. I love myself. I value myself. But I do want to know what it feels like to walk around my home in my underwear without feeling as if like I have to cover up myself because my father or my brother is there. You see what I'm saying? There are some cultures, and some of you may be like, well, Mill, what are you talking about? I'm talking about the truth. People come from different backgrounds in life. And if we are not honest with ourselves, we will allow the pressures of what's outside of us to hold us back and limit us. It happens every day. And this is not, again, just a teenage problem. This is a people's problem. We have to embrace ourselves. Now, the confrontation. The confrontation will not be easy. It will not be easy. Actually, it will be difficult. Why do you say difficult? Because the lies that we have told ourselves and that we have accepted usually has stemmed from childhood. You don't want to admit that you were told different things about yourself growing up. You don't want to admit that you had maybe an older aunt or older uncle that decided to live their truth. And you overheard conversations from people putting them down. And they were being honest with themselves. They were saying, look, I like to drink. I like wine. That doesn't make me an alcoholic. I like to go out on a date. That doesn't mean that I'm just out here just being loose. It means that I'm getting to know myself and I'm enjoying life. What's the harm in that? Seriously, what is the harm in that? And this is for the religious people that are out there. What is the harm in that? If you are young and single and you are mingling, as in just going out for fun and getting to know different people, what's the harm in that? Why can't you do that? Why are you held to this degree of separation from what regular people do? Now, this is the kicker. This is the kicker that's going to get us, and this is another topic on another day. Self-righteousness. Self-righteousness. We are dealing with being held by the throat. We're not being honest with ourselves, trying to please people that are self-righteous. I said it. They're self-righteous. Why you say they self-righteous? Because they act like as soon as they came out of their mother's womb that they were just made perfect. Like they never made a mistake. They always looked in the mirror at themselves and said, oh, I'm so perfect. And if anyone ever says anything against them, they the devil. They're hating on them. You don't like me because I'm so right and you're just so wrong and you're jealous of me. So you can't be honest with yourself to admit, you can't love yourself enough to admit that you don't have it all together. Yes, I said love yourself enough. Give yourself that room of being a human to say, I don't have all the right answers. Sometimes I mess up some stuff, but God still loves me. Self-righteous people are, in this Millie's opinion, self-righteous people are some of the worst people in the world. They really are, because they act as if like they are the reason why they have what they have. Excuse grace, excuse God, excuse the people in life that love you enough to help you. They don't give credit to no one but themselves. that's a narcissistic, self-righteous. Most of the time, they're hypocritical, because the same people that are holding you to this standard that has you not being honest with yourself are guilty of the same exact thing that they're putting on you. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? What's your example, Mill? The example is this. You have a family of people that were told not to move out of the home. It's all girls, told not to move out of the home until marriage by an aunt, an older aunt that said that she waited to be married before she moved out the home, and it helped keep her virginity. Only to later find out in life that she lost her virginity when she was 13. But she didn't move out the house till she was 21 or 22. So you telling me that this whole time you've been lying about being a virgin, but you've been making me stay home with my mother and my father so that I can look like I'm still a virgin? Isn't that hypocritical? Isn't that self-righteous? You would be surprised at how many people live that lie. Now, I was gonna say Miss Griffin, because I'm used to having these conversations with my students. I am, not just the fifth graders, but all that will listen. I'm used to having these conversations because it's real life. It's not just like, oh my God, you just making this up. No, this is real life situations. And it keeps people from being honest with themselves, because you're trying to please people. You're trying to please people that don't have it together. Keep it real with you first. If it's something that you don't like, address it. Say that makes me uncomfortable. Literally, let them know it makes me uncomfortable. It makes me uncomfortable when you laugh at me as soon as I walk through the door. It makes me uncomfortable when you don't know how to say good morning, rather than going right into insulting me. But if I insult you, you can't handle it. That's another thing too. That's another topic on another day. Stop joking with people that have low self-esteem. They can't handle. They dish it out, but they can't take it. So that's something else. And that's not honest with yourself, but we're going to come back to that in weeks to come. All right? All right. You have to be honest with yourself. Love yourself enough to say, this is what I like. This is what I don't like. If you want to be in my life, this is what you need to do. If you cannot respect those boundaries, God bless you, but I have to move on. Life has taught me that. Yes, and I will have to admit, honestly, because I'm as honest with Millie as Millie could possibly be at this point in my life. My 30s have taught me that. Being a 30-year-old woman has made me look at myself in that mirror, like the Michael Jackson song says, I am looking at the man in the mirror. And I had some ways I needed to change. I had some people that I needed to just allow to float on out of my life, like the old school song, float the heck on. I'm not pulling you back in. I'm not sending no canoe for you. No, honey, you just keep floating. I had to be honest with myself. And being honest with myself, I had to reintroduce myself as what I wanted to be addressed by. I had this conversation even with my parents. I did. I started to respectfully tell them what I was uncomfortable with. Millie, why you tripping like that? Why you said that to your mama? You said that to your father? You said that? Yes, I did. Why? Because if it's making me uncomfortable, I don't care if it's coming from my parents. It's a right and a wrong way to do everything. I didn't say go to them like they're not your mother and father, but you have to speak your truth. Mom, I don't like it when you do this. Dad, I don't like it when you do this. I don't like it when you say this. Now, because they love me, guess what they did? Respected my truth. Well, Mill, I didn't mean anything by this, but if it makes you feel this way, then da-da-da. Oh, okay, Millie Pooh. Dad, I see you watching now. Hi, Dad. Okay, you see what I'm saying? It's the truth. It's the truth. If I'm lying on here, let somebody call me out. Let someone call me out. Guess what? With embracing who I am and embracing my honesty, I am a happier person. So here's the kicker. If I am bold enough to hold my parents to that level of respect, what about everyone else? Everyone else falls in line. So that means the people at my place of employment, the people at my place of worship, I don't care who you are. That means other adults that I have to interact with. I don't care. It's a right and a wrong way to do everything. If you're uncomfortable, speak up. You cannot get mad with anyone for doing what you allow them to do by not being honest with yourself. If it makes you uncomfortable, say something. Don't get upset with them for not reading your mind. Okay, now that you're honest with yourself, everything else in your life has to be what? Aligned to it, as I just said seconds ago. You're honest with yourself, your life is beginning to align, and now you can experience living your truth, being respected for your truth, and not taking no prisoners, literally. Either they're going to step up or they need to step off. It's just that simple. And when God is in you, oh, Jesus, thank you. When God is in you, the peace that comes from it is unexplainable. He begins to remove people that cannot deal with your honesty. If something makes you upset, speak to it. Now, this is, again, the hard part. Confronting yourself. As I mentioned, we don't like to deal with childhood trauma. I just told you the first example was when you're dealing with someone that you overheard when you were young saying things about other people that you probably admired. So it made you steer away, like, I'm going to do this, but I'm just going to whisper and do it. All right? I think a lot of us have been there, especially for those that like to what? People please, which that should be a sin written in the Bible. I promise you, people pleasing is from the pit of hell. You will never, ever please people to the point where they're satisfied. Nope, you will be a puppet for them. They will continue to have you bouncing around everywhere. Stop people pleasing. That's a part of not being honest with yourself. And I've already talked about that enough with confronting that part of yourself. Now we deal with the layers of you, which is developed when you are a child. Maybe you were yelled at a lot when you were coming up. So there are different triggers now that when you hear a woman yell at you or you hear a male yell at you, you become bothered. Something about it makes you uncomfortable. All right? That's a trigger. You have to be honest with yourself. So if you find yourself in a relationship, if you find yourself in a friendship that reminds you of those things, get away from them. It's not good for you. It's not good for your development. All right? If you are from a household where you all were always experiencing your utility bills being past due and your lights being turned off and you not understanding how to even get through the next day because you don't know what you're going to do. Being honest with yourself says, okay, this is the reason why you work 3 and 4 jobs, because to go back to that way of living you can never do. Even if your body is about to give out, you're still not going to stop working real hard. Why, Mill? Because you never want to go back to that life of poverty. People do it every day. They make sure that they will never live hand to mouth every single day. And sometimes those very same people, unfortunately, they work until retirement, and then years, like maybe shortly thereafter, they can't even enjoy their labor because now, you know what? They're gone. Sickness has come and taken them away. All because they didn't want to face the fact that your life doesn't have to be as it once was when you were a child. Love yourself enough to be honest with yourself to say, look, I have worked all these weeks without a vacation. Let me go give myself a vacation. It's not selfish for you to do that. Care about you. Love yourself enough to be honest about when the buck stops. The buck stops here. The buck stops here. Why do you have to work your fingers down to the bones and then years later you pass away and everybody else is living off your hard work? Is that fair? That's not fair. Don't do that to yourself. Be honest with yourself. As we started this session, we said, to thy own self be true. We all heard that. Stop expecting things from other people that you don't give to you, which is honesty. You like that? Yeah. My girls over here, they like that. Stop expecting that from others and you're not giving it to yourself. So, because I never like leaving people with just, you don't open up Pandora's box of ideas and real situations, and you don't provide people with options to heal. Nope. That's not what we do here. Again, the answer is number one, found within you. Get to yourself. Solitude. Put the phone away. Get away from people that want you to be what they want you to be. And be around people that accept you for who you really are. You won't recognize them people or those people until you first recognize yourself and confront you concerning your care about yourself and your honesty with yourself. You can't identify people that really love you if you don't love you. So that's the number one thing. You got to love yourself. Love yourself enough to be honest with you about your flaws, about things that you need to improve. Can't nobody else give you the tools to success. No, they all are within. All you have to do is just sit down and stop trying to run away from it. It reminds me of like a woman or a man trying to escape child support. Eventually, it's going to catch up to you. Eventually, yourself is going to catch up to you, and you're going to be your own demise. Don't do that to yourself. Nope. Confront yourself. How do I do that, Millie? Great. Thank you for asking. Find a book. Find a book that you can read about yourself, about restoration, yoga, meditating. The I am affirmations are phenomenal. They have several on YouTube that you can do for 21 days. 21 days of speaking life into you. Literally, speak life into you. I need for you all to speak life in your situation. Be honest with yourself and write out your aspirations. Write out what you see when you look in the mirror. And if it's not what you would like to see, what you admire, now this is honesty now. This is like what the man from Saturday Night Live, this is a Stewart situation, right? You are having a I am beautiful, I am smart type of situation right now. So don't have nobody else around. You may even say, I have pimples on my face and I'm unattractive. You to yourself though, I'm not calling you unattractive, okay? Let that be written. But to yourself, you have a conversation with yourself. No one else is around. No one but you and the God within. You have that conversation, and then what occurs, Mill, next? Everything that you do not care for regarding yourself, you write what you want to see. So let's say if you are overweight and it's bothering you, write, I am healthy and my body is beautiful. You write the opposite. You write the opposite. I'm not going to ever say I have the body like Beyonce. I have the hair like that. I don't know what they have done to have that. You don't ever say, I want a body like Jennifer Lopez. Now, yes, her body is nice. Don't get it wrong. No hater over here. But she's not you. You don't know what she's had to go through to have that body. You don't know the intensity that it has taken her to get that. That's not your path. Embrace your honesty and embrace your path. Your path. Embrace it, right? That's what we're going to do. So you have a tool now. You have find a educational book that can walk you through healing and honesty with yourself. Yoga, the I am affirmations, the meditation. Do what you have to do. And then in the process of you listening to those positive vibrations, you are creating your own list for yourself. And every day for 21 days, you are to recite what you see when you look at yourself. You begin to scratch out the negative comments and you replace them with positive comments about you and no one else. You don't want to be like your sister. You don't want to be like your brother. You don't want to be like your father, like your mother, like your cousins, like your first lady, like your principal, like your pastor. You don't want to be like no one, no celebrity. You want to be you. And you be honest with you. Change will not occur until you're honest with the person within yourself. Until you're honest with the God within. Change will never occur. So embrace yourself. Love yourself. And anyone that cannot accept your honesty, you know what? this is a real story. Real story. When we all experienced COVID, right? I started to do these things. I did. And then when we were allowed to come back for a while in like around people, someone made it, actually they didn't even make a bad comment. It was just their presence. They came upon me, and I'm not kidding you, I could feel their energy, and it was so negative. So I said to myself, this is a person that I do not need in my space. I need to get away from them. So when you, after embracing yourself, being honest with yourself, when you come back around certain people, watch their energy. Watch how they make you feel. Be honest with yourself enough. I don't care who they are. Be honest with yourself enough to say, you know what, this person is not good for my growth. They're not good for my self-love. Stop it. Stop it. No more people pleasing. No more people pleasing. Love yourself enough to be honest with you and stop pleasing people. If their energy brings you down, you need to step around. That kind of around a little bit, you know. I think I'm a rapper sometimes. I do. All right, they laughing at me over here. But I'm serious, girls, hear me well. If their energy is bringing you down, step around. Step off. I don't care how long you've been knowing them. I don't care the family connection. I don't care about none of that. Nothing is worth you. This is self-love right now. When you love yourself enough, you do what you got to do to make yourself strong. Now again, this is a session. This is not a come to Jesus moment, but if you want to come to God, he's always there. He's within you. He ain't went nowhere. You just keep searching for him in other people. That's another topic on another day. All right? Get within yourself. Allow God to work on you. And know that when you're honest with yourself, he above all, or it's she, whatever you look at God as. But I can tell you God loves you, flaws and all. He just wants to correct you. I like to refer to him as a he, all right? He guides me and shepherds me the way that I believe a father does. And I receive that from God, okay? So I'm telling you what works. I'm telling you what would keep a smile on your face even when you're around people that don't like you. When you're honest with yourself, you realize you don't need them. You don't need them. All right? When you become honest with yourself, you step into a room. I seen a meme, and it's so true. When you walk into a room, you're not wondering if they're going to like you. You wonder, am I going to like them? That only comes after you're honest with yourself, though. And when you make the necessary steps to become what you desire to be. I went over those this evening. I pray that it stays with you. And I can't wait to see the changes that God is going to do within you and perform through you. I can't wait to see it. The Real with Mill is a platform that is all about empowering people, guiding them, and improving people. It's not here to put anyone down. It's here to call out the things that we have allowed to limit us because we have not been honest with ourselves. But I pray that after this session, it puts something on your mind. And even if you felt like Millie ain't talking about nothing, even the mere fact that you read the question is going to put a seed in your mind that says, have I been honest with myself? Do I keep blaming other people for what I keep bringing on me? Do I keep blaming others for bad relationships when really I haven't worked on me to bring light or to bring anything to the table? For any relationship, not just some opposite sex or let's say not just an intimate relationship, but all forms of relationships. You got to be honest with you because victims never improve. And if you're not honest with yourself, then you are going to remain a victim. Victors keep it 100 with them. Keep it 100 with you. You are so victorious. You are light. You are love. And if no one else loves you, The Real with Mill does. So I thank you all for tuning in tonight. And I pray again that someone was touched and inspired and improved and shown a better way to be. Before I go, I want to give a quick shout out. You see my nails? See my nails? She's going to get mad at me for doing this, but I don't care. I love her so much. Shonda Ann Davis. Contact her. Yes. Thank you all so much. Now, I do want to do this because, again, I'm all about helping people. If there are topics that you all would like to discuss, please place them in the comment section.